Hello, CD Bestie. Aku Haid. Check out my interview with CreativeDisc.com, the #1 website in Indonesia.
Hello, CD Bestie. Welcome back to another CreativeDisc exclusive interview with me, Lutfi, and my guest today is a male soloist who play many mellow song that can suit your mood and suit your soul. Especially it's Southeast Asia, in Southeast Asia, is especially in here in Indonesia, since his Spotify page show that Indonesia is one of his biggest listeners on him. So he's got viral too because many tracks that viral in Indonesia and Southeast Asia. So without further ado, we want to talk about it with our guest today. This is Hyde, everybody.
Hello. Thank you for having me.
Thank you. So Hyde, how do you do today?
I'm doing really well. The sun is setting. It's funny that I'm going to go to bed soon and it is morning, I feel like, for you guys. But I'm doing really well. I had a great day.
What time is it in your time zone?
Is currently, it looks like 8:05 p.m. Ooh. I'm in Los Angeles. Yeah.
You are in LA right now?
Yes, sir.
You're already living in LA?
Yes, so I'm from Michigan, but I moved to LA about 5 or 6 months ago. So this is my first time being on my own, but I really like it here, and I've been writing a lot of cool music, so I'm glad to be here.
So I just recently digging your past interview that you are not in LA, but now you are in LA. Like, how do you feel when you are in your family and right now doing things on your own? How do you feel?
Of course, yeah. I feel good. I feel like I've just been failing forward. So I've never officially been on my own. So I never like properly went off to college or anything. So this is my first time living alone and being away from my family. So obviously it was very hard the first 3 months being away from my family and my friends. But I feel like I finally settled into LA after 4 or 5 months, and it's good. It's fun being on my own. I'm learning a lot. My mom isn't here to cook food for me anymore, so I have to cook food for myself. But it's good. It's good.
So you can grab up for yourself, I think.
Yes. I can DoorDash Chipotle every night. Yeah.
So tell me more about your new project called Don't Go, Don't Leave that will be released soon.
Yeah, Don't Go, Don't Leave. It's my new song. It's coming out in 2 days. It's coming out this Friday, July 29. It's a song. It's another sad song. What a shocker, about losing someone you love and having them pass away. So I have a close friend a few months ago who her grandpa passed away, and so her family was really, going through a hard time. So I wrote this song wanting to comfort them and hopefully encourage them. So yeah, it's a very meaningful song to me. I haven't released a song in 6 months, I think. So it's been a long time since I've put out music. So I'm very excited to put this out and then follow it up with an EP coming out in September.
So talking about your new EP, what's the EP will gonna be? Can you give us a teaser or spoiler a bit?
Of course. I'm going to call it The Separation, and it's pretty much about my life, how I left Michigan, how I left my friends, my family, and am trying to find out who I am on my own. So a lot of the songs are very personal, and a lot of them are sad and just about trying to find your way and find out who you are. And I have one EP out already called Changes, and so that has Head in the Clouds and Changes and all these other songs, and that was reflective of my life last year because all my friends were getting married, music started taking off, so I was going through all these changes, and so now The Separation is the new EP, and it feels like it just reflects kind of my life right now as I left my friends and my family, and so a lot of sad, deep, vulnerable songs, but we're planning to put it out in September before I make my way to Southeast Asia.
Ooh, we're gonna talk about Southeast Asia later. So
Perfect.
yeah. So you were speaking about sad and vulnerable music. That's I think that's your forte, to make a sad and vulnerable music for you. But you know, sometimes making sad and vulnerable music is very very hard. You know, we are not sad all the time, isn't it? Right?
Of
So
course.
how do you come up with idea? Yes. So how do you come up with idea that finally being a sad music? Because you know, finding inspiration about sad music is very very hard. How do you find that inspiration?
No, I mean, that's a great question. I think as songwriters, it's our job to take emotions or even take like such a small feeling or encounter and just exaggerate it and blow it up. So it feels a little ironic because I feel like I'm a very happy, cheerful person, but I write a lot of sad, I write a lot of sad, depressing songs. So whenever I meet people in person, they're like, why is your music so sad?
Oh my God.
Whoops, sorry.
Your iPad is
I'm back. Everyone's like, why do you make sad music? You seem so happy. But I think it doesn't even have to necessarily be sad or depressing. It could just be something hard. Like, for example, I moved away from my friends. That's really hard. And so I just take that emotion of loss and leaving my friends, and I expand it and I write a lot of songs about it. So I think that's just kind of our job, to exaggerate a little bit, but I try to just take inspiration from things happening in my life, or, you know, encounters I have with people, or stories I hear.
But you know, when you are on the mic booth, you know, when you are on the mic like this, you
Yes.
sing the sad song, you know, it's very hard for you to get the emotion out of you. So how's the trick? How's the trick that you've get your emotion in front of your mic when you're recording? How's the trick?
No, of course. Yeah, I think I have my microphone right here. You can't see it because it's standing up. How do I get the emotion? I kind of just picture myself in the song. Like a lot of these songs, even if it's something, I try most of the songs to write about something I'm going through. So for example, it's very fresh. So it's rare for me to write a song about something I've never felt, but I try, when I'm on the mic, I try to remember and draw back memories of when I felt that. So if I'm writing a song about, you know, loss, or like if I'm writing a breakup or something like that, even though I don't relate to that right now because I'm not going through that, I just try to bring back memories about how I felt when I did go through that, or I'll pull up my journal and see what I wrote. And so I think when I remind myself of what I have been through, then when I sing, I'm able to have the emotion, even though I don't necessarily relate to a song, you know, when I sing it.
Oh wow, it's very very tricky, and maybe it's out of your comfort zone because you know you recall the hard memories to making a song. It's very very challenging. Hey, it's very 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 challenging.
Yeah, it definitely is, but the more you do it, I mean, the better you get at it. So I feel like at this point, after a couple of years, it's easier for me to be able to like quickly just draw out that emotion, where at first it would have been harder when I first started making music, you know.
Wow. So what do you think about the honesty? You know, in the pop world, it can be a very very hard to talk honest in music. You know, what's your opinion about being honest on your record and on your everything that you write?
I told myself when I was in high school and I started making music, I honestly didn't like a lot of the music I was hearing on American radio and what I was hearing my friends play, because it felt, there were some I obviously really liked, but it didn't really feel like people meant what they were singing, you know, or a lot of the songs, they were all just about breakup or about a love song, you know. And I was like, I want to find a song that's about, you know, like losing a friend, or I want to find a song about like moving away. And so I told myself when I first started to make music that I wanted to be different. And if I was going to be different, it's because I want to be honest and I want to be vulnerable. Even if, I'm exposing secrets or stuff about myself, like I would rather do that because I think people are afraid to open up and be vulnerable, maybe because of their past. And so I want to be vulnerable so that people can relate and know that they're not alone. So I told myself, like, obviously I like a lot of the music that's played on the radio and in America now and stuff like that. I've grown to appreciate it. But I remember when I first started, I was like, I just want to be really honest with my lyrics, and I don't want to be someone I'm not. I don't want to be corny or cheesy or only write love songs or only write breakup songs. So I've tried to diversify myself, but I've always tried to be honest. That's the one thing where I try to be vulnerable in every song that I write.
Okay, so what's your favorite back in the day? What's your favorite music
that I made, or of just listening?
That listening that you like the most, but play on the radio that you hate the most. What
sure.
is it?
I loved when I was growing up, like Adele, for example, would play on the radio. I would love listening to Adele. Or I remember driving to school. My dad would drive us to school, and he always had. This is before Spotify and all these digital streaming platforms. We had CDs that we'd play. We only had like 4 CDs, so for years it was just the same songs over and over. But I remember my dad had a Black Eyed Peas CD, and so we would listen to that. So I knew all of their songs on their album. So driving to school, I would always love listening to that. But like Adele on the radio, or Taylor Swift or Ed Sheeran, I really respect their writing. I think it's great.
So, okay, let's speaking about your Southeast Asia tour, isn't it?
That's what we're planning in November and December. So we're still trying to figure out all the details, but I'll for sure be in Southeast Asia at the end of September. So in 2 months, I'll be there for Universal Music Asia's annual conference. But I'll be there. Hopefully I'll be able to meet fans or sing at a park or something, so that I can say hi to people.
Okay, speaking about Southeast Asia, I will give you the fact that I just open your Spotify page, and I see that you are so many fans in Southeast Asia. The first one is being Jakarta, and Indonesia people love very, very sad and vulnerable songs. Even we called it Lagu Galau, and
Why is that? Why does it feels like, I've always wondered why in Southeast Asia people love like sad, chill piano song. Is there a reason why?
I will give you interesting one, because in Indonesia, I think in Indonesia we can express our feelings so so ferociously. We can express feelings so in America people can express feelings, feelings immediately, but in Indonesia we can't. So we talk in songs.
Wow. So if you don't necessarily like have the freedom to do that, like wherever, you kind of relate to music, or you find that in music. Okay, see, that makes sense. I've always wondered why, because I always see, like, even when I first started putting out music, it was so big in Southeast Asia, and I was like, I've never been there. Like, why is my music so big, in all of these countries? But that makes sense now.
You've got the point, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is the very trickiest one in this interview. So mention 5 things we didn't know about Hyde.
Oh my goodness, that's so hard.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see. I didn't start writing music until high school. So as a kid, I loved writing poetry and I loved reading and playing the piano, but I never actually started writing my own songs until I was in high school. So there's one. I was obsessed with chocolate milk as a kid. So I probably drank more chocolate milk than water. Like I would bring water bottles full of chocolate milk to school for lunch up until like 4th grade. And then I kept getting made fun of. So then I stopped doing it. Probably rightfully so. So I was I loved chocolate milk. Wow. Okay. Let's see. 3. Well, I guess I just shared it, so I haven't announced it publicly, but I'm going to Southeast Asia in the fall, so that's very exciting.
Okay.
Another fact that people don't know.
Your favorite album, it can be your favorite album of all time, your favorite album, yes.
My favorite album of all time could be probably Coldplay's first album. That album means a lot to me, and that really inspired my music. That's one of my favorite albums for sure.
Shivers Parachute, Shivers,
yes,
it's really Shivers, right now.
Yes, and especially I remember two songs specifically. They're not off that album, but The Scientist and Fix You were on their later albums, but both of those songs like impacted and influenced my music so much. I don't even think my music would be what it is if I hadn't had those songs. So yeah, and then the fifth fact would be I am scared of heights. Like that's my biggest fear is just if I'm on a really tall building and there's a ledge I look over, I get so scared. So I don't think that many people know that about me. But I can get pretty scared of heights.
Okay,
I can't control it though. So it's like I wish I could, but I get scared.
Okay, so this is very, very, very last question. What's next for Hyde?
What is next? Well, again, I have the new song "Don't Go, Don't Leave" coming out this Friday, which I'm very excited about. I'm releasing an EP, so I'm releasing 6 or 7 new songs in September, which I'm very excited about. I'm going to Singapore and Japan in September, and then hopefully doing some festivals and shows and all the other countries in Southeast Asia in November, December. So those are some fun plans for the near future that I'm very, very excited about.
Hope you will get in Indonesia and we will meet you offline.
Of course. I will make sure that we go and pay Indonesia a visit. I would love that.
Okay, so City Bestie, once again, thank you very much, Hyde, for sharing with us your story, how you become so sad and vulnerable, and the more you know about Indonesian music scene, why Indonesian people love mellow and galau things, That's our forte.
Now I know. Thank you for finally telling me. I always wondered, but yeah, this was so fun. I'm glad you had me on and that we were able to talk about all that.
Okay, so once again, City Bestie, this is Hyde. Thank you very much.
Thank you.